And in terms of the physicality of the acting, for me, I actually had 3 different animals that I was working with. So earlier in her life, I was a cat, like a house cat. In the middle of the film, the second act, I was a fox. And so I studied the way foxes hunt, and they're actually quite playful when they hunt. And then I studied panthers for the end. So for the third act of the movie, she becomes this, this big cat. And I watched lots of videos about the way that panthers hunt, and they're sort of seductive in the way that they do, and they sort of seduce and then they pounce. And I'm sure that everybody knows that there's a very big difference between all the 3 animals that I just mentioned. So I used that as part of the way that I discovered the physicality of the character. I would say that actually playing somebody where the film spans 30 years of her life, well, first of all, me passing as a 22 or 25-year-old is ridiculous, but thanks for thank you, Ridley, for believing in me in that way. It was a challenge, and there was 15 wigs back there that were actual replicas of the way she wore her hair at exact times in her life that we were able to find in photographs. They were specific to the era. Even the chemicals that were used to dye the hair were specific to the era. I mean, everything we did was very accurate. And, in the morning, I might be filming a scene where she is, in her late 30s or early 40s. And then I would, have to do a scene where I was 25, and we'd go back and forth. But because we were organized and, the artists that I work with, my, hair and makeup and costume, we're so organized and so specific that we were always ready. And that's what my director deserved. And it's also what my fellow actors deserved. I wanted to always be on time on set, and I also wanted to always be ready to be the version of Patrizia that was in that scene. And I just have to say, everyone, I believe, did this work. I spent a lot of time reading about her and watching interviews that she gave, watching interviews about her as well, but I tried not to read anything or watch anything that had too much of an opinion, because I really wanted to create my own. I grappled with who she was and why this happened for a long time, but I thought that it was significant and important to make sure that I was more of a journalist when approaching this role, because this was a real person and is a real person, and also a person that in a lot of her interviews lies all the time.